everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And this is the Street Woman Fighter Season 1 Megacrew Challenge. So I'm going to take a look at all 7 Megacrews from the first season of Street Woman Fighter. I have not seen any of them, nor do I know who won within the Megacrew Challenge specifically. So this is going to be really fun for me. I'm very excited about it, and you know, let's just go ahead and let's get into it. Okay, Cocoa and Butter. I love their hair. Their hair is dope. Hey. Hey. I like this. This beat is really cool. Yeah. Hey. Wow. Woo! That was cool. Wow, I love that. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Wow. Nice.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there. My time you wind up. Let them know that nobody
Wow.
Caribbean girl, they never clean and refine. Girl, just make them know that you are one of a kind.
Wow. Hey. Nice. I like the level that they chose. They took a nice scale option
we
there.
Ain't fighting Brussels niggas piping up.
I would say they had a very strong start in their dynamics, but some of this is still like they're having a lot of pockets of unison. But I do like some of their formation choices. They do have a lot of people too. Okay. A bit of an underwhelming finish, but I really do. I think this is probably this is probably the best Cocoa and Butter choreo I've seen out of the crew preview I watched, as well as this. This, and I saw their K-pop challenge. I really felt like they were one of the weakest in the K-pop challenge in the stage version for sure. But I really like that. I love the outfits for this. I think it vibes. It kind of feels. I love this inspiration of their culture mixed with, it took more of an Afro approach, dance hall approach. So I think it's very interesting, kind of their formations and stuff they did here. I love this. Just that beat in the back was, and I like how they branched it out and then brought it in. Very strong start from them. Yeah, I love that. Now I wish they had this kind of energy or the diversifying intention throughout the entirety of their set. I feel like there was a couple sections where I was just like, oh, we're just doing content, maybe drop the level. But I think that those fared better. I think other crews that we've already seen at this point, I feel like they could have done a little bit better in that realm specifically, but because they had a lot of unison. Love this. And it's nice. I think red's a great primary color that really shows out with people, because everybody's wearing yellow except for our crew members. They are in red, and I see one more member here. We have a group of 5, right? We're representing Cocoa and Butter. I love having that. So if you notice that we just have people chilling in different directions, we have my group right here, and then we have this group aside from this group. I actually really like this. This is cool. They like transitioned it over into the corner. That was sick. Hey, yeah. So I feel that a lot of this, and then it goes right here into the next song and next track. But take note though that some of our dancers, and it's just a cleaning thing, not all of them are angled the exact same way. Some of them are angled more front, and then some are really angled to the side. So I think that would have been something that would have translated a little bit better if that was clarified. But they are in straight lines. I will say though, hold on, it feels like they did a camera cut. They did. Look, so they ended up doing like a little fade here, and the lines are a little bit cleaner. So I wonder if they got to shoot this a couple times, not sure. But it's a lot cleaner here. The power of using a camera. That peel up was so fun. I love that. Having some of our dancers down, they come up. Doo-doo. I like that, where you have your dancers here. They're chilling down, and then you have them in a bridge and then up. So this is a great example, like I've mentioned. I think La Chica did it a brilliant, like the textbook example of how to do a Megacrew. You want to really explore multiple levels as much as possible. You really do. And I think they did a really great job. This whole first half of their set is great. I really like it. That peel out and come back in, and then they go down. And it really is fun. It shows that they're still being featured as a crew, but there's still a lot that's moving. I like that boom, doom, doom. Just that pause was really fun. The melting in there. That was a nice transition as well, making it circular and then going into the 3 columns. Look how clean that is. Boom, boom, boom. Very clean and distinct. And so your transitions matter because you want them to go from point A to point B in a clean way. But not only that, you want to make sure that when you get to your point, it matches with the choreographically. You want people to see that formation. And that's very, very, very good kudos to them. They branched it out and look, and they created a very nice picture here. And whenever you deal with a lot of similar colors, that can be a risk that you take. But like, look, like these, it's definitely it's very visually pleasing here. Do I think some of their content is a little bit, like whenever it's unison, that's where it looks simple. So I will say this, just with all the crews, their movement simplicity is never really the problem. It's if you don't compensate for your simplistic choices with complex visuals, dynamics, formations, levels, presence, stage, like usage of your stage. There's so many elements that are a part of a Megacrew outside of the content you bring to the table. If that's what a Megacrew was, then you wouldn't need to do all this production. It'd be just show us your choreo, right? But here it's how does the choreo match your transitions? How does it captivate through the levels that you choose to do? How do you transition in and out of your choreography? So the choreography, I would say nobody's choreography is necessarily wrong, or I think it was left to be desired. It was if that's all you give me, that's all I have to look at and analyze, right? So you want to help alleviate some of that and do a lot of formations and a lot of build outs, peels, dynamics, textures, you know. But when you do a ton of unison, it can really make somebody look at the content and be like, I really wish that you did more in your content to help compensate for the simplicity of the other factors that you're not factoring into your set. But they're doing a good job mixing it well. I would say this is pretty average in the Megacrew kind of aesthetic. And that's a definite improvement from what I've seen from them, for sure. Definitely not the worst I've seen, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of melts that they choose to do, which could be because, you know, you want to make sure you stay clean. You want to match the music. But I like their formations a lot. I love that with my dancers coming from one line to the other. Yeah. And then they turn and then they cross over. That was nice. Yeah, let's go. That going into the split is tough. Now, it is really tricky to get twerks clean, like having everybody be on the same page. But I really honestly, they're doing a great job so far. I do feel like this side is more spread out than this side. It could be the camera angle, not sure. But I like that you have your outside groups doing something, you have your inside group doing something else. I really like that there are multiple things happening. They drop back into the split. It was more of a jazz split with the prep. Yeah, but also notice their outside dancers, they came from the side up. They didn't just come from the front. Like, there's not a ton of unison here, which is nice. But when it is unison, there's levels introduced, which I think is A+ here. That's an example of what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, let's see what happens here. I don't know if this was a camera effect or what, but it does look like they're trying to look like slow motion or something. But I like that. Into the columns and they space out. This is unison, right? Which I think they haven't technically done a section like this. So that's why it works really well. But then look what happens. They drop it into layers, right? Into levels, which is a great choice for them. And they're maintaining their columns well, which is good. I will say we have 2 of our dancers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 2 of our dancers in red right here. I wish that they split center so it was truly symmetrical. So instead of having both of them there, have one of them here, one of them here, unless they're doing something that causes them to have to come out from that specific place. That's just my one note there. If you're looking for true unity, because you saw the red side, if you were only seeing the yellow side, it wouldn't have mattered. But because you saw that red side, that's why it didn't look 100% symmetrical. It looked 95% symmetrical, which was like, I like that kick over. That was fun. I feel like, you know, if we had people that dropped down a little bit lower, you could have really seen that, but it was also a camera thing too. Now this is unison that we're seeing here. Because we just saw a unison section and they changed the dynamics, if we're seeing another unison section and they're not really doing anything, that's when I'm talking about, okay, you're just giving me content and there's not really other things for me to not be distracted by, but to be able to be captivated by. You gotta elevate the difficulty of your content if you're just gonna show me that, right? And they technically didn't elevate it. I would say like they brought a different pocket, different energy, but I don't think it was different enough for me to really be like, oh my gosh, that was awesome, right? But I like the circle that they chose to do with your inside group and then your circle going around, but also I did feel like my outside dancers were very unclear as to what they were supposed to do with their arms. They were doing kind of like this kind of arm. Do I feel like that? I feel like that may not have matched as well as what my dancers in the center were doing. So maybe that arm could have been a different choice, and I think it would have looked cleaner, because remember, you want your formations or your transitions to be clean too. So I feel like that made this a little bit more chaotic because it wasn't clear what the spacing too of the circle. You notice that there's a huge gap right here, there's a little baby gap there, baby gap here, big gap right, oh no, there's 2 dancers right there. You know, I'm saying there's like a huge gap right here that if you're making a circle, you know, you want it to be, and I understand that was like near the tail end because they're about to break out, but let's just take a look here. Yeah, but look, like they're not super, okay, well I would say like near that back, it's near the back is where it's starting to look a little flustered, but I understand why this opening was here now. I retract my previous statement. They opened this up so they can go to their next formation. That's fine. I just paused it at a weird time. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. I think that was a bit of an underwhelming freeze. I don't think she technically did a freeze. She just kind of kicked her legs and came down. A bit underwhelming on the impact of that feature. And then this here, it just kind of, I mean, I really like this ending pose, but do I feel like it was very anticlimactic? Yes. Could that have worked against them? Maybe. I also don't know how their fan base is, because I know that the public vote was a huge factor into this challenge specifically. I don't know how much fans they had at this point, especially with the underwhelmment and their lack, and their scoring from previous challenges. I don't know if that affected their fan base. I don't know. For this one though, I do feel like I really like a lot of the choices. I would put this one above Hook and Holy Bang, which is really good because they demonstrated a lot of formations. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this one. I'm gonna put it above Hook. The reason why is because even though Hook had a lot of defined like formations and levels and everything like that, some of their content execution was a lot to be left desired, and it really affected the complexity of their movement. You know, so I would put Cocanbutter above Hook. But I would put them underneath La Chica. I think La Chica is kind of at that, they're at a really, really high level that is, they're gonna have to do a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Street Woman Fighter content, season 1 and season 2, I will have it on my Patreon as I edit these. If you're watching this on YouTube, good chance this has already been out for a week to 2 weeks already, earlier, prior to the release of this here. And so if you're somebody that wants to get in on the action as it happens, Patreon is a great place to look. But if you're totally fine with being patient and waiting it out, it will show up here eventually. I will say there's a couple things from season 1 1 that are blocked from YouTube. YouTube just doesn't want me to upload it here. So I do have some blocked content from the first season. Like, I believe as of right now, I have a K-pop challenge, YGX versus Want. That is not playable on YouTube, but it is on Patreon. If you really want to see my thoughts on that one, you can check it out there. But yeah, thank you guys again, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.